Hello, it's Rob from Fountain Pen Journey. A couple of weeks ago, I tested out some very cheap steel nibs that I bought from a Chinese seller on eBay. The nibs were to replace the fine nibs that came with my Wingsong 3008s, and probably also would have been swapped out with some of the various Lamy Safaris that I have to make them a bit broader. So they came in sort of 1.1mm stubs, 1.5mm stubs, 1.9mm stubs. They didn't work. The steel was too soft. They bent. They were awful to write with. Waste of time. But I do like broad nibs and I do like stubs. Now, one thing that I have been writing with for well over a year now are these things. It's a Jinhao 599. It's a very common pen, very cheap pen. But there's a seller on eBay who I noticed was selling the clear version of this pen. Just get the details here actually. They're called Loft Pens. They're based in the UK, so there's no long waits from China or anything like that. You get a packing slip with the pens, nothing particularly interesting, but if you want to know where to find them, there we go. So you can find them on Instagram at Loft Pens, Facebook at Loft Pens, and strangely enough on the web at loftpens.co.uk. But as it happens, I bought these pens from Loft Pens, his or her seller's shop, on eBay here in the UK. So UK based seller, quick delivery, you know, easy enough to get something done. If something isn't quite right, you can contact him, and it's not like going to be some of the Chinese sellers. So anyway, Loft Pens sell these Jinhao, the clear 599s, Jinhao 599. They call it the 599C. Just to let you know, the 599C, the C stands for clear. So you've got a completely transparent, colourless demonstrated pen with whatever size nib you like, and they go all the different ranges from fine, medium. I think they do a broad. Then they go to 1.1, 1.5, 1.9, 2.5, and 2.9, I believe. So quite a range of nibs which come in these pens. I've got 4 of these pens, all with different inks. These are really, really good pens for the money, just on their own. I mean, you buy a basic 599 from China and it's really, really cheap. So even with these specialist nibs in these pens, still really inexpensive. So all I can say is that the nibs that I bought and tested, the video is a couple of weeks old now. Just go to my channel, scroll down, go back a fortnight, a couple of weeks or so, and you'll see replacement cheap nibs from China for Wingsong 3008s. There's a couple of videos. The first one was the introduction, and the second video was the actual outcome with the writing samples. Terrible experience, but these pens from Loft Pens have been really, really great. I've been using them for well over a year and absolutely loving them. So let's have a look. This one here is fitted with a 1.5mm stub nib. So that's the pen, the Jinhao 599C, as I discussed earlier, stands for clear. Really, really good pens. So this one is a 1.5 millimeter stub. I mean, you've got to get your writing style correct with any of these sort of strangely ground nibs. I mean, this really is quite a nice little stub nib. Get it in focus. And you can see exactly what you're getting there. Now the inks that I've been using in these, because I really wanted to experience what a stub nib can lay down ink-wise, are all Diamine Shimmertastics. Diamine. Oops, going all over the shop here. Not easy writing over the camera, can't really see what I'm doing. But anyway, so in this 1.5mm stub, this is an absolutely gorgeous colour. This one is a Diamine Shimmertastic. This one is called Enchanted Ocean. And even if this didn't shimmer, I absolutely love the colour. Absolutely adore it. It's coming up very blue on the camera, but it's more of a deep turquoisey blue. Really, really lovely colour, and there is a really nice silver sheen in it. And just lay down some ink. And you'll be able to see what I mean. Excellent writing. I mean, this 1.5mm stub, really, really good. I mean, you could almost use this as an everyday writer, depending on your handwriting, but really good. You do get the odd skip on the downstrokes because obviously you're going on a very fine part of the nib. Really, really pleased with this pen. Really pleased with this ink as well. Now you can see that this ink is really quite saturated because the silver shimmer almost sort of takes on the colour of the ink. It really, really is really great. I mean, look at those patches of ink there. Really, really good. I mean, obviously with a shimmering ink like this, there's a lot of very small metallic particles dotted into the ink, and they do settle. So you do have to give the pens a good old rotate, use them regularly, clean them out regularly to stop the particles getting stuck in the feed and the nib, blocking it. I mean, you can see this shimmer. Enchanted Ocean, really, really great ink. So, yeah, as far as shimmering inks go, for me, this is definitely a 10 out of 10. Let's have a look at the next ink and the next nib, because I've got a different size here. And this one is 1.9mm. Oh no, this one isn't. Wrong pen. Damn it. This is a 2.5mm. This is much more difficult to write with. I've found that these really broad stub nibs, 2.5mm, and to be honest, anything over 1.9 starts to get a little bit tricky to write with because you've got these downstrokes where you get virtually no ink coming out, great big broad horizontal strokes, and with a shimmering ink, these downstrokes can skip, as you can see here. And it causes blocking and all the rest of it. So it's not easy writing with these inks in a 2.5mm stub, but it's very, very good for laying down quite a lot of ink. So this one is exactly the same pen, Jinhao 599, 2.5mm stub, and this ink, obviously it's Diamine again. Wine Divine. Lay down a patch of ink. This is very nice shimmer ink. Do get skipping. So let's have a quick look at this one. There is quite a lot of gold sheen in this. Gold shimmer, rather. Gold shimmer. Look at those sparkles. It's great under this light. I mean, this is dirt cheap paper. This is a pad from Staples, and I found that these Diamine Shimmertastic inks actually work really well on it. You wouldn't expect it because you're supposed to have a really low absorbency paper to show off the shimmer, because the particles just sort of get sucked into the paper if it's absorbent and disappear and you don't get any shimmer. But honestly, these Diamine Shimmertastic inks seem to be pretty good on cheap paper. In contrast, I've got some Oxford notebooks, which are supposed to be very fountain pen friendly, good quality paper, no bleed through, or very little bleed through, things like that. And all of the Shimmertastic inks from Diamine have essentially zero shimmer whatsoever. So lots of sparkles, really nice red wine colour, very, very attractive. You can see where it's pulled at the end of these lines here, gold in there. So yeah, very, very nice ink. Let's just try and move things up a little bit. And the next one, let's see what surprise this one is going to be. This is Moon Dust. Okay, so this one, same pen again, different nib. And Moon Dust, this one is in, 1.9mm stub. As for Moon Dust, just write the name down here. It's quite aptly named. It's a very nice grey ink. I think, as far as the Diamine grey inks, yes, I really, really like them. There's enough, if you like, contrast there. Just wait for the tractors to go past. It's harvest season here in the country. It's quite noisy. Bless them, they've been working damned hard. I mean, they're going 24 hours a day at the moment, getting all the grain and stuff in. So anyway, 1.9mm stub Moon Dust, and as you can see, there is this lovely silver shimmer to it. Very, very nice. Moon Dust is a very good name. It's, in my view, quite a good grey, because it's not so dark that you start sort of saying, well, is it really very dark grey or a light black, if you can have such a thing. Yeah, it looks grey, but it's really, really good, and the shimmer is excellent, really sparkly, suits the Moon Dust name really well. Incidentally, I will point something out. Under certain lighting conditions and under these LED lights, this is really appearing silver, but I've got a bit of incandescent light in the room here, and these shimmers are actually a little bit iridescent. So you've got a multitude of very pastel rainbow colours distributed through the thing. Very attractive ink. Definitely worth considering. And the fourth and final sample, this one is in, what on earth is this? Sorry, I'm going to have to refer to my notes here. This is 1.9mm, 1.1mm. 1.1mm stub. Now this ink is called Arctic Blue. So 1.1mm stub, Arctic blue ink. I mean, this is where you're starting to realise that 1.1mm really doesn't give you quite the same sort of difference between horizontal and vertical strokes. They're a lot more similar. I mean, obviously it depends how you use the pen, but yeah, this is, I mean, getting into sort of just broad nib territory. You're not going to get as much variation between vertical strokes on the side and horizontal strokes like that. This Arctic blue is a bit of a strange one because you lay it down thick and it's difficult to tell what colour it is. Under the camera here, this is actually looking quite blue, but here, looking over the camera, it's just a dark ink. Is it black? Is it blue-black? Difficult to say. I mean, to be honest, you look at that and it is quite a blue ink. You can give it a smear and there's certainly a lot of blue in there, or even getting the shimmer in there, so they're really, really good. There's a lot of, well, I'd basically say there's a lot going for this ink as well. This is yet another good Shimmertastic ink from Diamine. More of an everyday writer. I mean, when you compare it with Enchanted Ocean up here, you know, this is quite a glitzy, very, very sort of shiny, garish colour. This is a lot more subdued, but there is still plenty of shimmer in there. So, once again, really, really nice. There we go. Get the shimmer going. Obviously, with all of these pens, you do need to give them a shake or a roll or a rattle while you're using them, because the little shimmer particles will fall out of suspension in the ink and end up collecting as a sediment somewhere at the base of the converter or something like that. So give them a quick rotate every now and then when you're writing. I wouldn't recommend giving them aggressive jerking movements. It's not a bottle of ketchup. You'll end up with a cap full of ink. But just roll them around, give them a quick inversion, roll them over a bit, uncap them, and then carry on writing. And you'll get an even amount of shimmer particles in your ink. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you found this useful. If you are looking for decent quality stub nibs at a really low cost, then certainly if you're in the UK, I don't know whether Loft Pens sell worldwide on eBay or via their website. I'll just pop this one up again. There we go. Might be worth having a look if you're interested, but certainly if you're in the UK, those Chinese nibs that I bought from eBay, just not worth bothering with. But these have been very, very good, reliable nibs, and they perform brilliantly with these lovely Diamine Shimmertastic inks. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.